Thank you. And then Emily, Zach.
Just switch your chair around so you get this. There you go. I'm very, very fortunate that I get to be here tonight and just talk to you guys about how the high school is feeling about just all the feelings, mostly about the public participation. And I did do a poll on my social media just about like the masks for spring sports, and I had 108 people vote for taking them off, getting them off while we're playing sports, and 29 for keeping them on. And most of the responses I had people, they were allowed to respond to it, and most of them were like, it's so difficult to breathe because once you get all that sweat build up, you're outside, you have a lot lower of a risk for getting the virus. And I think that the rules have kind of changed in the last week, but I found it interesting that we follow the WIAA and spend $4,000 on it, but we weren't following the rules about masks that the WIA has on their website. I also have a family member that lives in Oklahoma, and they have not had mask requirements this entire year unless the teacher requested it personally. But once all the teachers got vaccinated, they were more comfortable, and their last case was in February of this year. I also thought that the freshmen that were all quarantined, they can't even get fully vaccinated yet for them to even not have to quarantine for that 14 days. And I'd also like to point out the treatment that the freshmen have been getting the last couple days, as most of the freshmen have been told to move to the other side, get away from me, get away, like I don't want you to give me anything. They've been treated so poorly, and I think that that's kind of shown how that fear and that game that the one mother was talking about with their kids coming and saying, you know, comparing it to Nazis, it's very accurate. And if I were to get quarantined now, I would miss 6 softball games. I would miss both of the AP tests that I have coming up next week, and it is terrifying. And wearing a mask for not 1 hour a day like the parents are, the parents came to speak for us. We're wearing it for 8 hours a day, plus playing sports in the mask, and it's just more unsafe, I believe. And I think we also need to realize the mom who came and spoke about her child speaking about suicide. Like, not just the deaths of COVID. I understand, yes, a death from COVID is still just as tragic as a death from suicide, but our young children in middle school are talking about suicide already. Is that not just as alarming as a COVID death? And that child also getting targeted for sexual predation, just as alarming, I think even more. I also think we need to, again, go over our quarantine rules because, of course, all these fun events are just starting to happen up again, just like many of the parents were bringing up. And I think that we need to stop with the unnecessary quarantining because I'm terrified of losing that last month of school that everyone is most excited for. So that's what's going on at the high school right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And